Hello and welcome back to RailRoads Online. So today we are just kind of taking a cruise out down some of the new rail. As you can see, we have put in our new starter rails. Didn't do anything super creative here. We just kind of replaced it with what we used to have. Alright. Yeah, sorry the video is a little late coming out. I was really terribly sick the last couple of days. Starting to feel a little better, but not doing well. But figured I still wanted to try to get a video out. So, bear with me if you could for the day. Alright, so what we did do is we put in the... we put in exactly basically a replica, which we noticed, is up a little bit higher. Everything came up at an angle, so I think that's because I laid the switches first, but I'm not totally sure there. I'm happy with it anyway. I actually like the little bit of roll back there. It gets you to roll back to the stock, so I'm okay with that. As for now, we did build a new locomotive. Well, didn't build it, bought it. Threw test on it. Not planning on keeping this one. Just wanted to pick up a new locomotive and see how that all went on to the new stock and off. So we have laid new rail to both sides of the freight depot. Just going to kind of take a run around what we've built so far and then show the re-railing process or the move-over process that I'm using for the new trains is going to be the idea for this video. Not sure how much you hear it. I don't know how loud I have it, but we did get new music in the game. So that's pretty cool. We did simplify our old dual. We had dual track all the way down here. We simplified that into one. Just keeps all of this is way cleaner now. This used to be one of the ugly spots on the rail that I didn't like at all. Now it's just clean, and I'm a much bigger fan of that. So we did get new tunes, which are pretty jamming. I don't know. I like the new tunes. I've been told that maybe they're the same music from the old American RailRoads deal that he had done the first version of the game. I don't know if that's true or not because I've never actually played that one. So I do know that the I don't know. I had like no blur on the wheels for a while. Now they're pretty blurry again, so I'm not exactly sure what's to do there, but that's the thing I've noticed is different. The switches no longer derail you, which is pretty cool. So now if you come into the switch the wrong way, it just auto switches back for you, which is really pretty groovy. I have to admit, as a solo player, it's going to be really nice to not have to remember absolutely every switch, especially without having the dev speed. The dev speed made it so you didn't worry about that too much, but so as you can see, again, here's a spot we have not reattached. I'm just going through and deleting and rerunning the rail in the spots. So we have relayed in here. We did get the 90-degree crossover in there. As for now, this is the only locomotive we've run across it, but obviously, as you can see, we did not have any problems with it. So that's working well as for now. I do have to say I find laying this track to be much easier. You definitely have to, it's a learning curve and figuring out what you can and can't do with it, or where you can manipulate it and where you can't, just like the old track was. But let's just say this stuff is far more moldable. You can manipulate this stuff a lot more than you could the old stuff. The old stuff kind of like you either could do it or you couldn't do it. This stuff seems like you can try a few different things here and there and get some things to work that might not otherwise work. Alright, so this one we are gonna flip. I do believe we got this attached. Switches are now right and left clicks on the, I think on the mouse. Yeah. Right and left switches, or buttons on the mouse now flip the switches. So that's kind of groovy. I do like the music. Don't get me wrong, I was a huge fan of Heist's soundtrack too. I am not going to for 5 seconds turn around and say anything bad about Heist. Did great music, and it should be both. They should put these new couple of songs, because I noticed it's not a lot of songs, but maybe, you know, maybe things have gone a different direction and that's no longer a thing to use. But Heist's music was great for the game too. That I will freely admit. So our walls came down pretty much the same. Had some tricks laying in here. This was probably the biggest pain, trying to get these things to turn super sharp into the switches. I noticed you can turn them sharper going away from the switches than you can coming into the switches. Coming into the switches, it wants to auto do some goofy things, where if you lay going away from the switch, you can get a little more bend in it and keep it working. That's just one thing I have found at this point when laying to a switch. Oh. We have thrown in our new bridge up here. This kind of arced out different. I mean, it's much cleaner than it used to be, so there you go. And I did step to bridges instead of the big mounded pile of dirt like you see there. We did switch. The bridge looks way better, if you ask me. Much happier with the bridge in here. Especially this style of bridge. Just really, that hits the money, if you ask me. I mean, that's boom. Oh, we are about to run into a much bigger locomotive up here. That's probably not going to go too far. So yeah, we went with the old school bridge up here, but again, I'm really happy with that. And then so that's kind of so far, well, I guess not totally. We have gotten this loop out here finished, and we just backed that one, lined up the rail and backed it right over it. So I have another one that's kind of set up to see if we can pull it forward onto the new rail over here and see how that goes. Is kind of what I figure we will end this one up with. So this is a new rail. The new rail that's been brought all the way up to here. And now this one, as you can see, is on the old rail. Groundwork rail not attached. But I think we have this lined up good enough here. The new rail is just kind of sneaking in under the old rail there. So my guess is we should just be able to roll right across that and onto the new stuff. At least that's the plan. Look, see that? That link is not even in there. That's one of the ones that's always driven me nuts. You get ghost links. Still happens. Still getting ghost links. Not that it's a big deal, and don't get me wrong, it doesn't affect anything, but it's always driven me nuts when they turn around, when you say realistic physics, and then you have stuff like that. But I don't honestly look at it like we have realistic physics. We have tow physics, right? So they put weight on the cars and stuff like that, but we don't have, it's not like real physics, let's be real. There we go. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. So as far as re-railing, there you go, right? Haven't re-railed anything really, just building the tracks out, right? And sliding one to the other. Ooh. So there we go. We'll pull this one up pretty close up here to the end of the line just so we don't have it sitting in the way, as we obviously have plenty to do. Yeah, I do like this music though. It's jamming. Whatever. Alright. So yeah, I will go back and take a look at this now that the train's off there, just for anybody who is wondering or been re-railing or anything else. So there you go, right? Drop straight down, boom, boom. Old rail, new rail, no problem. Now, I was talking to some people about it in about going up the other direction. Don't know that that's gonna happen. My guess is the wheels would just hit it and stop. Maybe not the case, but that is my guess. So there you go. Just how we're doing it. Some of the new rail, a little bit of a tour of the new laid stuff. We still have plenty to lay, obviously, in here and get this stop done, but we do have or we're starting to get some industries reattached and back underway. So if that helps anybody, great. If not, you know, that's how I'm doing it. So thanks for tuning in. Remember, if you get a chance, like, share, subscribe. Subscriptions are free, but they sure do help the channel. Y'all have a great day, and we'll catch you on the next one.